Hi everyone, welcome to our online class at Paradise Business and Technology College. This is Occupational Health and Safety class. The class coordinator is Mr. John Cooper, which is myself. Duration of the course is 10 to 15 weeks. Let's look at the outline of the course. Okay, the first unit is Introduction to Occupational Health and Safety, or OHS. The second unit is Workplace Hazard. In the third unit, we are going to look at risk assessment. And in the fourth unit, we are going to look at personal protective equipment. The fifth unit, we are going to discuss about safe work practices. In the sixth unit, we are going to discuss about emergency procedures. In the seventh unit, we are going to talk about accident reporting. And the last unit, which is the eighth unit, talks about workers' rights and responsibility. So let's discuss the first unit, Introduction to Occupational Health and Safety. Okay, basically what is Occupational Health and Safety, or sometimes they say OHS. OHS stands for Occupational Health and Safety, which refers to the policy, procedures and activities designed to protect workers from injury, illness and hazards in the workplace. So OHS stands for Occupational Health and Safety. Occupational refers to job, work. Health refers to our health, and safety means our safety. Okay, in some profession they say OHSE, or Occupational Health, Safety and Environment. There's the same thing. It's also the same field, but it involves environment as well, safety of the environment. So Occupational Health, Safety and Environment, OHSE, that is the same thing, that's the same field. Okay, basically OHS, the focus of OHS is to ensure that employees work in a safe and healthy environment. Hazards are identified and controlled, accidents and injuries are prevented. So that's the main and basic reason of OHS. Importance of occupational health and safety. Occupational health and safety is essential in every workplace for the following reasons. 1. Protect workers from accidents and injury. How does it protect workers from accidents and injury? It prevents workplace incidents such as falls, cuts, bends, and exposure to harmful substances. It also ensures workers return home safely every day. Every time when you go to work, OHS ensures that you are safe, you are working safe, and you return home safe. 2. OHS promotes a safe working environment. How does it promote a safe working environment? It encourages safe practices and proper use of equipment. It builds a culture of safety among workers. Occupational health and safety is also essential and it's very important because it reduces workplace risk. How does it reduce workplace risk? OHS are the set of procedures and policies in the company that is used to identify hazards before they can cause harm, and OHS also implements control measures to minimize risk. That's how it reduces workplace risk. 4. It also improves productivity and efficiency. This set of rules and procedures improves productivity and efficiency of an organization or the company. So it contributes to the health of the workers. So healthy workers perform better at work. It also contributes to less accidents or avoid a lot of accidents. So fewer accidents means less downtime and disruption. So downtime, to reduce downtime is very important, because when there is an accident that prolong the downtime, then the company is not making any money, it's making loss. So downtime is the period of time in which the company is making loss or is not making any profit. So accidents can lead to downtime. So OHS a set of policies and procedures that also contributes to reducing the accidents and contributing to reducing the downtime and disruption of the operation of the company or organization. OHS is also important because it ensures compliance with safety laws and regulations. So safety laws and regulations are regulated by Department of Labor and Industrial Relations, and in a company these OHS are the set of rules and procedures which are aligned with the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations to ensure there is a safety in any company. If there is no OHS in a company, then the workers will get injured, the companies will have to pay a lot of money for workers' compensation because there is no OHS. So this is why OHS is very important. It helps organization follow national safety standards and laws to avoid penalties, fines, or legal action. Because when there is no OHS, then accident is likely to happen. When accidents happen, then the workers will be injured, or sometimes it causes serious health issues or accidents, and these workers will then sue the company, and the company will pay a lot of fines, and the workers can take legal actions against the employers. So OHS is there to make sure work is done in a safely manner, so the company is on the safe side. Key concept in occupational health and safety, workplace safety. One, workplace safety. Workplace safety refers to keeping the work environment free from hazards, includes safe equipment, proper procedures, and safety training. So workplace safety, any worker must use proper equipment, safe equipment, and follow proper procedures. And the workplace must be free from hazards. Health protection, focus on protecting workers from disease and long-term health problems. Examples: use of protective gear, hygiene practices like face mask, and medical checkups. So occupational health and safety are concerned about two aspects: the safety and the health. So physical safety and the health. Okay, risk management. Risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, and controlling risk or hazards in a workplace. The steps involved includes identifying the hazards. That's the first and foremost step. Anything that can cause harm to our health or our physical well-being is an hazard. Okay, so an example of an hazard can be hazard can be different type. A classic example is you can have a spill, chemical spill, or naked electrical wire. These are all hazards. So step one in risk management, identifying the hazards. Two, assessing the level of risk. So all the hazards in a workplace have certain level of risk. So we have high risk, intermediate, and low risk. So you assess the level of risk associated with the hazards. And the third, you implement the control measures. Control measures are basically implemented to control the risk or the level of risk or the hazards present there, depending on the level of risk. Okay. For accident prevention, measures taken to stop accident before they happen. It is very important to prevent accident before they happen. When they happen, we have loss of life, we have illness, we have loss of property, we have that's a lot of things happen. The business lose money, property, and then we have downtime and all this. So in order for that to for before the accidents happen, we must prevent it. So they say accident prevention measures must be taken to stop accidents before they happen. So this includes prevention of accidents includes safety training, It's one of the measures in which we can prevent accident from happening. Workers must attain safety training before they put to work. We have proper supervision. They must work under supervision. Workers must use PPE or personal protective equipment to avoid accident. Summary of the first unit: occupational health and safety ensure worker protection and workplace safety. It helps reduce risk, improve productivity, and comply with laws. Key concepts include workplace safety, health protection, risk management, and accident prevention. Okay, let's go to Unit 2, workplace hazards. Okay, basically, what are hazards? Definition of a workplace hazard. A hazard is anything that has the potential to cause harm, injury, or ill health to a person. Okay. Key point: not all hazards can cause harm immediately, but if uncontrolled, if we don't control or control the hazards, then they may lead to accidents or health issues. Types of workplace hazards: we have 1. Physical hazards. These are hazards that arise from the physical environment. Examples of physical hazards: we have noise. Prolonged exposure to noise can cause hearing loss. Okay, in order to avoid that, we can put the earmuff. Heat. Okay, exposed to extreme heat can lead to burns, heat stroke, or dehydration. In order to avoid that, we can put on proper suit, PPE, yaka, or something like that. Vibration, continuous exposure to vibration. Example, machineries, moving parts of machinery or whatever in industrial area. When they are working, like motor and all these things, there's vibration going on, so it can cause muscular skeletal disorder. Your muscle and your skeleton system can be disordered if you are exposed to a lot of vibration. Okay, another hazard here, another physical hazard, we have slippery floors, risk of slips, trips, and falls. So basically, these are some of the visual hazards that can cause harm to our physical health, physical well-being, and health. Chemical hazards arising from chemical substance that can cause illness or injury. Examples of chemical hazards are toxic chemicals can poison workers if inhaled, or meaning breathed in. When you inhale, meaning you polymer go inside, ingested, or absorbed through skin. Gases, carbon monoxide, chlorine, or other harmful fumes. Dust can cause respiratory problems. When you breathe a lot of dust, that's when you cough or blocks of your breathing system. And then we have fumes from welding or chemical leading to lung damages. So these are all the chemical hazards that can cause harm to our physical well-being and health. We also have biological hazards caused by living organisms that can affect health. Examples: bacteria cause infections such as food poisoning. We have also viruses are also hazards. Biological hazards can cause illness such as influenza or hepatitis. We have mold can lead to respiratory issues and allergies. So bacteria, viruses, mold, these are all living organisms that can cause harm to our health and physical well-being. So these are biological hazards. Economic hazards. These are hazards related to poor workplace design or human interaction with equipment. Poor workplace design, sometimes the space is very small, or there is no ventilation. These are, or limited space. These are economic hazards. Example: poor posture causes back pain or musculoskeletal disorder. Heavy lifting, meaning lifting heavy weight, can cause strains, sprains, or injury. Repetitive movements, risk of repetitive strain injury, or RSI. So if you are moving your body repeatedly in a same arrangement or same movement, then it will also affect your health as well. So these are all economic hazards. Safety hazards, hazards that can cause immediate injury or accidents. Okay, example, machinery, moving parts can cause cuts, crash injuries, or amputations. Okay, so electrical equipment, risk of shock or electrocution, fire hazards, flammable material, or poor fire practices. So these are all safety hazards. Summary of Unit 2. A hazard is anything that can cause harm in the workplace. Workplace hazards can be physical, chemical, biological, economic, or safety related. So these are all classification of hazards. Identifying hazards is the first step in creating a safe and healthy work environment. It is important to identify the hazard, which is the risk. If we don't identify the hazard, we are confused, so we are most likely to the accident is most likely to happen because we did not know where the danger is. Danger, in other words, hazard, we can say danger, in other words, danger. Okay, so let's go to Unit 3. Unit 3, risk assessment. Okay, definition of risk assessment. Risk assessment is the process of identifying hazards in the workplace and evaluating the risks associated with them to prevent accidents, injuries, or ill health. The key point here is it is a proactive approach to workplace safety, ensuring hazards are managed before they cause harm. Okay, so steps in risk assessment. Step number 1. The first thing is we must identify the hazard. Look for anything could potentially cause harm. Hazards may be physical, chemical, biological, economic, or safety related. The method involved in identifying the hazard: workplace inspection. We can inspect workplace to identify hazards. We can consult, we can go through incident reports, and we can also get feedback from employees or employee feedback to identify the hazard present in a workplace. Step 2. Determine who may be harmed. After identifying the hazard, you determine who may be harmed by that hazard. Identify people who might be affected: employees, contractors, visitors, members of the public. Okay, these are the group of people. So when you identify that there is a present hazard, you must firstly associate that hazard with who are the possible a group of people who are exposed to this hazard. It can be employees of the company, or contractors of the company, or visitors coming into the company premises or into the organization, or members of the general public. Tip: consider vulnerable groups such as new workers or people with disabilities first. So once you identify the hazard, the first thing that we make sure they are aware of is the new workers. Whoever the new worker coming into the organization does not know where the hazards are, once we have to let them know that let them know. So this is done by safety training or safety induction, or we can also, the disabled students are given priority. So this is very important for them to know where the hazards are, or what are the hazards present in the company premises, or in the organization, or in that area, or in the workplace. Step 3. Evaluate the risk. Okay, assess the likelihood of the hazard causing harm, assess the severity of potential harm, decide if existing control measures are adequate. Okay, the tools to assess the likelihood of the hazard is risk matrix. Later I will do a video on this one here. Risk matrix is basically classification of all the hazards at in different level. High level risk, high level hazard, high level risk, or low level risk, intermediate, and then can be used to prioritize the risk. So once you identify the hazard, okay, we also associate it with the level of risk involved. So later we have a class on the I'll just do a video on this risk metrics and how we evaluate the risk and classify them into high level, low level, and intermediate level. Step 4: implement control measures. Reduce the risk to an acceptable level by applying safety measures. So that's the fourth step. We reduce the risk to an acceptable level by applying safety measures. Control measures can include eliminating the hazards. We can eliminate or remove the hazard. We can substitute safer materials. We can install safety guards on equipment, especially for equipment, and providing of personal protective equipment for workers and training of workers. So PPE and training of workers are very important. So these are the function of the OHS in an organization. So in any organization, there is a OHS officer responsible. So that officer is responsible for all of this. Okay, so step 5: review and monitor the risk. Risk and control measures should be regularly reviewed. So once you implement the once you control the risk, after controlling the risk, you must regularly review the risk. So it is a ongoing process in the company. Update risk assessment when new equipment is introduced, workplace conditions change, an accident or near misses occurs. Goal: okay, continuous improvements in workplace safety. So this is how you review and monitor risk in a workplace. Example of control measures. We have example on the other side and the control type. If let's say eliminate an hazard. So if we have to eliminate the hazard, an example is remove a dangerous machine no longer in use. Substitute safer material. Use water-based paint instead of toxic solvent. That's a classic example of substitute safer materials. Use safety guards, machine guards, to prevent contact with moving parts like grinder, grinding machine, cutting, drilling. All these big machines, okay, motor and all these, they have guard. So if these guards are faulty or not default or defect, then we need to put recommend for maintenance and put in proper machine guards. Okay, provide PPE, personal protective equipment like helmet, gloves, safety shoes, goggles. These are all PPE. So these must be provided by the employers for the employees. Training of workers. Safety training for workers is very important. Instruction on safe lifting techniques, emergency procedures. These are some of the basic training that you can get before you go into the company. Like when I was with Paradise Food for during one of my holiday vacation when I was at Don Bosco, the first thing we did was a safety induction. They were inducting us on the safety route of evacuation in the factory. Whenever if there is a fire, then they were inducting us how we can evacuate the building using the fire emergency exit route. So these are some of the basic training. One of the training was food safety induction training, yeah, something like that. So training of workers, providing PPE to workers are very important. So this is some of the things that it's as an employee you have the right to have PPE and basic training, safety training. Okay. In summary, risk assessment helps prevent accidents and injury. It involves identifying hazards, evaluating risk, implementing controls, and reviewing effectiveness. Effective control measures reduce the likelihood and severity of harm. So if we deploy effective control measures when there is a person hazard, we simply will reduce the likelihood of accidents to happen in a workplace. Safety is an ongoing process requiring constant monitoring. So safety is an ongoing process as long as the company works and is organization is going, whether it's industrial or whatever it is, safety is an ongoing process requiring constant monitoring. So you monitor, review, monitor, review, monitor, review. So safety is a ongoing process in an organization or in a Okay, Unit 4, personal protective equipment or PPE, they say PPE. Definition of PPE, personal protective equipment, PPE refers to protective clothing, helmets, goggles, or other equipment worn to minimize exposure to hazards that can cause injury or illness. Key point, PPE is the last line of defense after all other safety measures, like hazards elimination or engineering controls have been applied. So after all the control measures put in place, PP is the last line defense. If if the control measures fail, that's the time your PP will save your life. So PP must be worn at all time. Or as a safety officer, you must make more emphasis on safety. Or as a worker, you must the first thing they will tell you is always be in your PPE. So you must obey instruction and always be in your proper PPE, helmet, glass, Google, footwear, earmuff, and all this, hand glove. Types of PPE and their uses. Safety helmet protects head from falling object, impact or bumps. I'll give you an example for helmet. When I was at Unitec in my 4th year, we went up to Ramu. We went up to Yonki, all their generating station there where they generate power to supply islands and Momaset, especially Meding and Leh. They call it Ramu 1 and 2, so all the power stations up there are called Ramu. So we went down to Ramu 1. We went to Ramu 1 and then the lift brought us down 300 meters down, about the length of 3 rugby fields. We went right into the down into the ground. That's where we have 6 generating units there. So one of the first thing we did was, before we went down, they gave us safety tips. Safety equipment, PPE. One of the safety equipment they gave us was the helmet, and then they told us this story. There was one time, there was a worker who did not wear his helmet, and he was down there in the power plant, and then there was a bolt that falls from the surface down, and then it falls through that lift, where the lift you should go down and come up that space there. It falls down and then hit the worker on the head and then break his skull because he did not wear his helmet. So that's where his skull fractured, and when they rushed him to the hospital, he died instantly. So that was one of the incidents that happened up there. So these are small things, but it saves lives. So safety helmet protects head from falling object, impact or bump. So that bolt was falling from some meters up. So it has a lot of momentum. It gains momentum as it comes down. So when it hits the head, it breaks the skull, and that person was declared dead was when he was rushed to the hospital. That's one of the incidents. Safety goggles protect eyes from dust, chemicals or flying debris. Debris, another term for rubbish. Rubbish in engineering technical terms, they say debris. Gloves protect hands from cuts, bends, chemicals or infection. Ear protection, earplugs or earmuffs protect ear ring in noisy environment. Safety boots protect feet from heavy object, puncture and electrical hazards. Electrical hazards, sometimes boot will save your life, especially when you're working with electrical. Okay, reflective clothing, highlighter vest, all this increase visibility of worker, especially in low light condition or during night time. So you have to wear a highlighter so people know that you are there. Reflector, respirators or face mask protect respiratory system from dust, fumes, gas or airborne pathogens. So these are basically PPEs, personal protective equipments, or they are also referred to as last line. Okay, we have them here. It's a very good picture there. We have safety helmet, safety mask, hand gloves, safety boots, visible vest. We have glasses, helmet, all these things here. Proper use of PPE. To ensure effectiveness, PPE must be used correctly. Okay, wear correct PPE for the right job. Use PPE specific to the hazard. Example, glove for chemical, helmet for construction. Inspect before use. Check for cracks, test broken straps or other damages. You cannot use a faulty PPE because it's an hazard itself. Okay. Maintain and clean PPE. Keep PPE clean, like clean to ensure protection and comfort, like your Google. Make sure it's clean so you can visualize things properly. Follow manufacturer's instruction for cleaning. Replace damaged PPE. Do not use worn out or broken equipment. Key tip: PPE should fit properly. Ill-fitting equipment may reduce protection or cause accident. One of the example is if your foot is small, don't wear big boots. Okay, otherwise it's heavy, so you will carry heavy loads around the workplace, and you might starve yourself by you hungry, wearing big shoes around the workplace. Okay, just a joke. Summary: PPE is essential for protecting workers from workplace hazards. Types of PPE include helmets, goggles, gloves, boots, ear muff, ear protection, reflective clothing, and respirators. Correct selection, inspection, maintenance, and replacements are crucial for PPE effectiveness. PPE does not replace hazard control but complements other safety measures. Unit 5: Safe work practices. Definition of safe working practices or work practice or whatever it is. Safe work practice are procedures and actions designed to reduce the risk of accidents, injuries, or damage in the workplace. Key point: safe work practices promote a culture of safety and ensure that work is done effectively and efficiently and without harm. Okay, safe work practices. 1. Follow safety instruction added to company policy, safety sign, and operating procedures, or sometimes they say SOP, standard operating procedures. Okay, keep the workplace clean and organized. Reduce tripping, slipping, and other accidents. Proper use of tools and equipment. Use tools only for their intended purpose or right use. Inspect equipment before use. For avoiding unsafe behavior, do not take shortcuts or engage in a horseplay near machinery, or meaning shortcut. Okay, reporting hazards immediately. Whenever you see something that is not as safe and unsafe, something that is unsafe, it's an hazard. It will cause harm to you or any coworker or anything. So you must report that immediately to supervisors, managers, or safety officers. Notify supervisors or unsafe conditions or potential hazards. If you see a naked wire there, quickly report it. If you see a spill there, quickly report it. If you see a faulty equipment, quickly report it. Anything that can cause harm in a matter of hours or days or anytime, if there is hazard, you quickly report it to supervisor or safety officers for control measures to avoid accidents. Housekeeping in the workplace. Definition: housekeeping refers to maintaining a clean, organized, and safe work environment. Importance of housekeeping: prevents accidents such as slip, trips, and falls. Reduce fire hazards. Housekeeping also reduce fire hazards because we have to segregate all the rubbishes and put it in a proper place. Otherwise, everything put here and there likely to catch fire. Improve efficiency and productivity. So housekeeping in a workplace improves efficiency and productivity. Examples of good housekeeping practices: clean spill immediately. Spill: if there is a spill of chemical or water or whatever it is, prevent spill and fall. The purpose of if there is a spill, then we can sleep on that spill or we can fall. Store tools properly, prevent injuries and lost equipment. Keep walkways clear, allow safe environment of people and materials. The walkway or passage must be clear. Dispose of waste correctly, reduce fire hazards and environmental contamination. So we must dispose our waste correctly at the right place and properly dispose to reduce fire hazards and environmental contamination. Summary: safe work practices reduce risk of accidents and injuries. Following procedures, proper use of tools, and reporting hazards are key elements. Good housekeeping supports safe work practices by keeping the workplace organized, clean, and hazard-free. A safe and tidy workplace is efficient, productive, and compliant with safety standards. Okay, let's look at this unit here. Emergency procedures. Types of workplace emergency. Workplace emergency can occur suddenly and require immediate action. Common types include fire, can start from electrical faults, flammable materials, or machineries. Chemical spill, exposure to harmful chemicals causing injuries or health risks. Equipment failure, machinery or electrical failure causing potential hazards. Injuries, accidents such as cuts, falls, or electrocution. Natural disaster, earthquake, floods, storms, or other environmental emergencies. These are all in an emergency response step. In an emergency, it is important to act quickly and safely. Step number 1, stay calm. Panic can lead to poor decision and increased risk. When you panic, you do a lot of things and you put yourself in a lot of risk. So you must always stay calm. Raise the alarm. Notify colleagues, supervisors, and emergency services within the workplace. Follow emergency procedures added to workplace specific protocol, because that's the training that you will receive already. You know how to exit and all this. So added to this workplace specific protocol, fire, chemical, or evacuation procedures. Evacuate if necessary. Use designated escape routes and assembly points to evacuate the workplace. Provide first aid if trained. If there is an accident if there is an emergency because of accident and all this, always provide first aid if trained. Assist injured patient safely until professional help arrives. So, but don't provide first aid if you are not trained. You have to be trained to provide a first aid in the instant that we have a injured patient. Safety measures, key safety measures. No fire exits. Always be aware of the nearest exit routes. Use fire extinguishers properly. Remember the pass technique. So pass technique is a technique used for fire extinguishers. Later we'll discuss that after the slide. Pull the pin. Okay, that's the first method. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle. Sweep side to side. Okay, these are the techniques of handling fire extinguishers. Do not block escape routes. Keep corridors and exit clear for quick evacuation. Okay, fire prevention tips. Stop flammable materials safely. Turn off electric equipment when not in use. Regularly inspect fire alarms and safety equipment. This is very important. If the fire alarms and safety equipment are not working properly, then it won't detect fire. Okay, up there for the pass technique, we're gonna look at pass technique in the next slide. Especially for so this is a pass technique, especially for fire extinguishers. We do practicals on this one later on. P stands for pull the pin of the fire extinguishers. Aim at the base of the fire. S, squeeze the operating handle, that handle there, squeeze it. And then sweep means pointing at the fire and then sweep the fire out. So that's the pass method for in the case of fire emergency. That's how you handle a fire extinguisher. Workplace emergencies include fires, chemical spill, injuries, equipment failures, and natural disaster. Following emergency response steps saves lives and reduces damages. Fire safety requires knowledge of exit, correct use of extinguishers, and keep escape routes clear. Regular training and preparedness improve response during emergencies. Okay, the last unit, accident reporting. Importance of accident reporting. Accident should always be reported promptly, meaning on a timely manner, because reporting helps to, one, prevent future incidents. Identifying causes allows management to implement safety measures. Helps to improve workplace safety, provides data for reviewing and updating safety procedures, investigate cause of accidents, help determine whether human error, equipment failure, or unsafe conditions were involved. Key point: reporting is not about blaming, but about learning and preventing. Okay, so when you report it, you might prevent accidents. Okay, an accident report should include the following essential details: information, date and time when the accident occurred, location, exact location of the incident within the workplace, description of the incident, what happened, including sequence of events, persons involved, name of injured or affected persons, witness statements, observation from people who saw the accident. These are some of the optional information you can add: equipment or tools involved, immediate actions taken, recommendations for preventing reoccurrence. Report an accident. How to report an accident? Attend to the injured person. That's the first thing that you do. Provide first aid if trained. Don't provide if you're not trained. Inform your supervisor. Notify immediately after the incident. Document the incident. Complete an incident report form with accurate details. Submit the report. Forward to safety officers or management. Review and follow up. Management may investigate and implement corrective actions. Summary: accident reporting is essential for safety improvements and incident prevention. Reports should be clear, accurate, and timely. Key details include date, time, location, description, persons involved, and witness statements. Proper reporting helps workplaces learn from accidents and avoid future risks. Okay, the last unit, workers' rights and responsibility. As a worker, you must know your rights. As an employee, you must know your rights and responsibility. Workers' rights. Workers are entitled to a safe and healthy working environment. This includes work in a safe environment. Okay, one of the rights is you must work in a safe environment. That's your right. If a company does not provide a safe working environment for you, then you have the right to report that company. The workplace should be free from hazard that could cause injury or illness. 2. Receive safety training. As a worker or employee, you have the right to receive a safety training from your employer. If the employer does not provide safety training, then he is already committing an offense. Workers should be trained on safe practices, hazard recognition, and emergency procedures. 3. Use protective equipment. It is very important, and it's a must that your company must provide personal protective equipment for you to wear and come to work. Workers have the right to access PPE appropriate for their tasks. If you don't have a PPE, you can report the company to Department of Labor and Industrial Relations for not issuing you with PPE. Report unsafe conditions. That's your right. You have the right to, as a worker, can report hazards or unsafe practices without fear or retaliation. Key point: workers' rights are protected by occupational health and safety laws and regulation, which is under the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. Honorable Casey Sound, member for Bogia, is the minister for that Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. Okay, workers' responsibility. While workers have rights, they also have responsibility to ensure that their own safety and that of others. So as a worker, you have rights and responsibility. They say rights comes with responsibility and responsibility comes with rights. Example: a kid has a right to be educated, but as the parents has the responsibility to educate the kids. So rights comes with responsibility. Responsibility comes with rights. Likewise, as a worker, you have the rights and you also have the responsibility. So your responsibility is to follow safety rules. If you don't follow the safety rules, then that's your responsibility. You should always follow your safety rules. You're already wrong if you don't follow your safety rules. Added to workplace safety policies and instruction. To use PPE properly, you must always be in your PPE. It is your right to be provided with PPE by your employee or by your employer or your company, but it is your responsibility to use it properly and use the PPE all the time during working hours and in the workplace. Okay, you also have the responsibility to report hazards. So you must wear protective clothing and equipment as required for the job. You must inform supervisor or safety officers about unsafe conditions immediately. You also have the responsibility to work safely and responsibly. Avoid unsafe behavior, take care when handling equipment, and ensure personal and teamwork. Sometimes when you don't comply to this responsibility, that's when you are terminated, because that's your responsibility. If you don't come with your PPE, they suspend you because they provide it. That's your right. But if you don't come with it, you have your part. Your responsibility is not played there. You haven't played your responsibility. So that's when the company will terminate you. Key point: responsibility and accountability are essential for a safe working environment. Summary: workers have rights that protect their safety, training, and access to protective equipment. Workers also have a responsibility to follow rules, use PPE, and report hazards. A balance of rights and responsibility ensures a safe, productive, and compliant workplace. Thank you for your patience and time. That brings us to the end of our presentation on occupational health and safety online class. I want you to complete all the exercise in your module and submit them on time. We might do some other videos and recordings on areas that we need to and we haven't covered in this presentation and in this recording. Thank you once again, and